Hi everyone. It's me. I'm back. It's been a couple of weeks. It's been a couple of crazy weeks, really. So I've had a lot of lessons learned this week. Learned the hard way, unfortunately. That's usually the worst way to learn, but it's still a way of learning. So I've had a couple of run-ins with some bad companies this week. Four in total, to be exact. I with DoorDash had changed all the rules and it made it impossible for me to work down in Bakersfield anymore. And then I just really had to sit and reflect on if I even want to be a part of a company, that changes their rules so much and treats their employees and their customers so poorly. And I'm still trying to hang in there until at least the end of August, because that's when John's case goes to trial for his workers' comp and his accident. So I'm really trying to just hang in there so that we at least have the money, extra money for spending, for groceries and bills and whatnot. So I'm hanging in there with that one, even though it's getting real hard here. But I did end up posting a couple of videos about the advertising company Kale, who was really just so unethical and terrible in their practices and how they treat their social media influencers. So basically, Kale is like an ad company, and you can go to them to get these little ads that you want to do campaigns for. And once you claim the ad, it gives you like a little rundown of the list of things that you need to do. And so you follow the rules, you upload the video on either Instagram or TikTok, and then they give you like 1 to 3 days, and then they see how many views you can get in like that 3 day span, I guess, and then they pay you for your video and your ad campaign. That's how it's supposed to go anyway. So I had taken an ad campaign the first time around with Bubble Skincare, and I loved them right away. They were such a sweet, wonderful company to work with, and they were always just so welcoming and gracious from the very beginning. Very kind people that run that business over there, and it really is a good company that they support people that are low income. They might try to make their products affordable for everyone, and their website is great. It's all inclusive for people with disabilities, which I thought was just wonderful, and I shouted that out in my video to them. And they left me a bunch of comments on all my videos telling me that I did a great job and they loved them. And I was really happy and excited about that. So I was happy to make that a good video for that great company. And so fast forward to, I went to go try to withdraw my money, and they didn't end up paying me. 2 weeks had gone by, and I was just arguing the fact that I was like, hey, you guys got to pay me. What's going on here? And they were trying to tell me all this kind of stuff like, oh, you had the wrong video ratio aspect for the video, and so because of that your video doesn't qualify. They were also telling me that my video was like poor quality, and I was like, that is so not true. My video was great quality. If you guys go back, you can even watch it. It was really, really good quality video, and it was really cute. I was funny. I might not have been the perfect at going over every single rule, because at first I was just like, oh, this is gonna be, I just film a video and then post it. But no, because I had accidentally posted a video to my YouTube, and when I posted the video to YouTube, I created a little short with it, and it got like over 1,000 views very quickly. And so because of that, I was like, oh, okay. And when I went back and reread the rules, because they hadn't paid me in a while, I noticed that it said the video had to be like 1 minute and 30 seconds long. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've done like a 30-minute like how to like get ready with me video, and now I have to like edit it all the way down to like 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I was like, whatever, I can do that. So I just went ahead and took the same clip I used for the video short, and I made it into like an Instagram reel. And so I made the Instagram reel, and that got a bunch of views. And then I also, they were like, oh, you can also do TikTok. So I had to create a TikTok account, because I didn't have a TikTok account before that. Created a TikTok account, uploaded the little short video to TikTok, and that got over 1,000 views. And so I was really happy with like the progress I was making and how many views I was getting. And I argued that to them. I was like, even if it's not, you were saying it's not in the right aspect ratio, you guys didn't inform me of that like in the list of requirements. And so I would have adhered to that if I had known that ahead of time, because I'm a very like kind of a stickler for the requirements. I want to make sure I'm doing a good job. My YouTube channel is very important to me, so I want to make sure I do everything right. And so, you know, I was just kind of back and forth arguing with them about that. And, you know, every time I would try to tell them, like, hey, like, can you please just work with me here because I'm new to all this. Like, I don't even have a TikTok before this, you know, so I don't know really all the like qualifying ratios for the TikTok channel. And so they were like, well, no, you just have to edit it and re-upload it and that's it. And so when I went in and tried to edit it, it ended up counting off like half my video because I guess it wasn't recorded in the right aspect ratio for what they wanted. And so I was like, look, if I try to edit it, I'm gonna have to delete the whole thing and then start the video over, and then there goes all my views, like all the thousands of views I got. I don't think people are gonna watch the same video 1,000 times again, so that's not really fair to me. And then they're like, you know, just kept ignoring me and sending me the same email back and forth over and over again about how, nope, you just have to edit it or we're not gonna pay you. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just take this a little higher up. And I asked to talk to their manager. Of course, when I asked to talk to the manager, they just ignored me. And so I got really frustrated, went onto their LinkedIn page, and I was like, well, maybe I can get a hold of somebody on here. So, you know, I started sending messages to their DMs, I guess you would call them, their private messages. And I was like, hey, this is my situation. This is what's going on. Like I understand that this is your video aspect ratio is like part of your requirement, but you guys didn't tell me about that until after I had already recorded and posted my video. So can you guys please just pay me like the money that you owe me? And then like the next time, now that I'm aware of the aspect ratio, you know, we can go from there. And they ignored me again. And so I went to their wall and I was like, well, maybe I'll just post it on their wall so that I can get their attention because nobody's listening to me. So I posted on their wall, went on later that day, and like all of my comments had been removed and nobody had still gotten back to me. And I was like, okay, this is getting kind of shady. Like now you're just trying to sweep me under the rug like I'm not even there, and I'm just not going to be here for that. I'm a Sagittarius with like 4 different mental illnesses. I'm not going to go quietly into the dark like you want me to. Like, it's not going to happen. So I was like, what do I do now? I really need this company to hear me and pay me my money because this is not right, baby. That's my money. One thing you don't mess with is a poor girl's money. You're going to pay me my money, girl. Like, I don't care what I got to do. I'm going to do it. So I, you know, kept arguing my point. And then finally I saw that they were like, okay, fine, we paid you. And then I saw this little thing pop up. And so I went into my account, my Kale account, where my money was, and I saw that they had deposited $15. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just cash out, get away from this company. I don't want anything to do with them anymore, okay? They've got shady stuff going on. So I go to cash out, and right underneath the amount of $15 says it's a $20 minimum for a withdrawal. And so I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, I'm guessing you're doing like $15 each video, but even though they were like, okay, we'll pay you this one time, but next time you have to like make sure you do it in the right ratio aspect or we're not going to pay you. And I was like, okay, whatever, just give me my money. And so they paid me, but they only paid me for one video. And I'm like, I did 2 videos, but okay. So they paid me the $15 for the one video to the fact that I couldn't withdraw my money. And I'm thinking they were doing that because I was being argumentative and wasn't going quietly like they wanted me to. And so I was like, okay, fine, I'll just take another ad campaign and I'll get my money so that I can withdraw my money, and then you're going to have to pay me my money. So I took another ad campaign. This time it was with HelloFresh, and I don't have anything against HelloFresh. I don't have anything against Bubble Skincare. It's literally just Kale, the ad campaign company. And so I did the video for HelloFresh. I had a great time. It was really fun. We cooked dinner, me and my husband, you know, we had a glass of wine. We were just kind of goofing off in the video. And it came out really cute. And again, they only wanted, they sent me the list of requirements that I needed. I made sure, like extra sure this time, like my OCD was in play. I made extra sure. I checked every box that they had. I made sure I did everything the way they wanted. It was in the proper ratio aspect for their videos. And so I uploaded the video and I'm thinking, okay, they're going to pay me. They don't have any choice now. I did everything the right way. They have to pay me. And of course I get the email and they're like, oh, we're sorry. Oops, your video, you know, it doesn't qualify for the rewards. And I'm like, here we go again. So I'm like, okay, why doesn't it qualify this time? You still haven't told me, like, because every time they send me the email, they're like, you didn't qualify, but they don't tell you why. And so I sent them an email. I'm like, what's going on? It's kind of like you guys are kind of trying to mess with me now because I kind of argued the first time. So now you're trying to make it personal. I don't know. Is that the case? Because if it is, like, I don't want to have to file a complaint, but I will. And so They send me a message back and they're like, actually, your video doesn't qualify. It actually failed to qualify because you have too many video transitions. And I'm like, that's funny because in the list of requirements, there wasn't a rule for that. There wasn't anything that said you could only have like 5 to 6 or 3 to 4 transitions or anything like that. There was nothing that said that at all. And so I was like, that's really weird because the video was supposed to be like in the snap of a finger, the steps that you take to cook a meal from HelloFresh. And so that's what I did. Like I had the snap of the finger, I had the transitions. And so for them to just turn around and be like, well, now you have too many of them. I was like, I feel like you guys are kind of picking and choosing here and you're kind of like picking at me at this point. Like, so I was, being argumentative with them again. And I'm like, this is kind of weird, you guys. Like, you're not paying me again. You're saying it's for this ridiculous reason. And you and I both know that the video has to have transitions. It just has to be that way because that's what you wanted in the video. You wanted the snap of the finger and the quick motions going through you wanted me to show the label for the product. You wanted me to show the food chopped up or being brought out of the box. You wanted to show the cooking process. You wanted to show the final process. And I showed all of those. So I was like, I don't know. I just thought it was really, really weird that they were now like, we're just not going to pay you. And so I was arguing with them for a while. Of course, they were trying to blow me off again and sweep me under the rug from their customer service area. So I had to go back to LinkedIn, sent them more private messages, still got ignored. And then I was like, okay, so what's going to happen here? And then, so finally I pasted on their wall again, tried to get their attention because nobody was paying attention to me. And so then they were like, okay, fine, we paid you. So I go to the thing again and I'm like, okay, fine, good, great. I got paid. Let me get away from these people. I can't stand them. So they paid me $14.79 and again was like very sarcastic in the response. And they were like, just don't do it again. And this time don't use that many transitions or we don't have to pay you. And I'm like, whatever. Okay, so I go to cash out, right? And when I go to hit the withdraw the money, it says this little thing pops up and it's like, oh, you have to complete a campaign first before you can check out. And I'm like, really now? And so I scroll down and sure enough, all of my videos have been labeled as not complete. And I'm like, now I know you're messing with me. Like you're taking it there, like to that next level. Like you're trying to be shitty. You're trying to like take me down right now. And I'm like, I just didn't know. I was literally beside myself at that point. And I'm like, started arguing with them again. And I'm like, I cannot believe you guys are treating me like this. Like this is so like unethical. It's inappropriate. It's just, I feel like you're discriminating against me because I complained about it not getting paid the first time. And I'm like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, how can you treat somebody like this? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I really let that get me down. I was like depressed for 2 weeks over it because I'm like, I was so excited when I first got that opportunity to work with an ad campaign company. And I'm like, this is the first time I'm ever going to get paid to do what I love, like YouTube videos. And I ran around and told my whole family about it, even though it's just like a small amount of money. I didn't care. Like, it's just the whole idea of being paid to do something that you love. And so I don't know, I was just really down and depressed for like the last 2 weeks about it. And I made videos where I was just bawling and so sad. And when I would go to upload the videos, for some reason, they wouldn't upload. And I'm thinking, this has got to be like a sign from the universe to not post these videos. And so I was like, I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to wait and we'll see what happens. Well, in between all of this, I had ordered my father a Father's Day gift. Okay. And when I ordered this Father's Day gift, it was like a book and it was all about learning about my dad. So like he would go through, answer the questions, fill them out, and it would help me like get to know him better. Cause my dad, he's a very good dad. He's a very good father to me. He always was, but he's very like quiet and reserved, like kind of serious. And it's kind of hard to like get to know him sometimes because he's very reserved and quiet about like who he is as a person and like his deeper emotions. And so I thought the book would be like a great idea for us to like bond and grow closer and me to learn more about my dad. Well, fast forward to a couple weeks later, I never got my book. I never got the book. And the minute I ordered it, I thought it was bizarre because I didn't get a receipt. I just got this weird tracking number and it was saying that it was in like Italy, in like customs in Italy. And I'm like, that's weird. Like, and then every time I would go to like click on it, it would be like, 3 days later it'd be like, oh, it's in customs. Well, now, oh, it just finally finished in customs. Well, now it's at the port of Italy or something weird. Like, it was always some weird, it wouldn't give me an exact location. You know how you can usually track it on a map and see where it is? It didn't do that. It was just like, one page, here's where it is. That's all you get. And I was like, this is kind of shady. I don't know. Like, I think this might be a bad company. So, like, I had to call my bank and I had to tell them what happened. And they're like, I think you should close your account and, like, get a new card. And I was like, no. And he's like, yeah, I mean, it's for the best. It's probably a fraudulent company. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. Whatever. Let's just do it. So I had to shut my card off, had to order a new card, went down to the bank, got a new card. And then I didn't think anything of it. I was like, problem fixed, problem solved, everything's great, right? I got my refund from the bank because it was a fraudulent company. And then I went to go cash out that night for DoorDash because I had worked that day. And I couldn't cash out because it was on the wrong credit card. And so I had to go through this whole long process again of changing over to a new card. And then once I changed over to the new card, DoorDash was like, oh, well, now that you've changed your card, we're going to have to put your account on hold for a week. And I'm like, you guys, talk about making a bad situation worse. Like, I can't wait a whole week to get paid. And then, like, it just so happened that the same week I couldn't get my money, John just happened to not get his money from workers' comp. Like, something happened to where his work status didn't get put in and he just never got paid. And I was like, oh my God. So, like, we've had no money, like little to no money for like the last 2 weeks. And I'm talking like bills piling up, our car was breaking down. It was just absolute insanity for the last 2 weeks. And I'm like, the universe is really trying to take me down right now. These people are trying to take me down, girl. Like, what is going on here? And so, I had started following this one guy that was from YouTube, and I thought, like, he had this great vision. He was like a Himalayan guru, and his message was about like finding your true path in life and peace and enlightenment and all that. And I was like, hey, I can totally be on board for somebody that's teaching those kinds of things. It's very positive, and I want to move up in my spirituality and mature myself as a person, mentally and spiritually. So I'm going to go ahead and follow this guy. So, I started following him, and a lot of his videos were very insightful. They were very helpful to me. They helped me. He had some sleep time meditations. I was listening to those every night. They were helping me get a great night of sleep. And I still recommend those videos to other people. But I noticed that the more I followed him and his group of people, the more it started to almost seem like a cult. And it kind of was like, they had these like online courses, and they were like, hey, here's like, if you want to learn how to be a great public speaker, go ahead and take this course. And I was like, well, that's me. Like, I could use a little help with like public speaking, for my YouTube channel and things like that. And so I signed up for the class, and I learned a lot. I really did. I took notes. I showed up every day. I really tried really hard, and I used what I learned in their group to go out and do public speaking events, and I had a lot of fun. So I'm not saying I didn't learn anything, because I did. He does have good messages at the end of the day, but I did start to notice a trend of, if you want more, pay $27. If you want VIP, you have to pay like $100 to $1,000. And if you want these other courses, you have to pay like $1,000 to $3,000. And I was like, that's kind of a lot of money, just for like spiritual enlightenment and like learning more about yourself and like the universe. But okay, I mean, if people have the money, I mean, I don't judge. You go ahead and do that, girl, but that's not for me. And so, I had paid like $27 and for one of his classes, and I ended up figuring out that all you get is like a journal, but like you have to print out the journal yourself, and then you get like Zoom calls, and that's about all you get, aside from if you would just have taken it for free, you still get all the same information. And I was like, so next time I'll just do it for free. So this next time he had another class, and it was for manifesting like your miracles, the manifesting things that you want in your life. And I was like, hey, again, right up my alley. This is something I need. I'm on a path to spiritual enlightenment. I'm on the path to being a more successful me. And I'm like, I want to do this class. So sign up for the class. And then they're like, day 3 is so important. You got to be there for day 3. It is so important. It's the most important day. You're going to learn so much. Trust me, you want to be there for day 3. So day 3 comes, I show up, I'm on my Zoom call, I'm ready to go. I'm saging the room, I'm saging myself, I'm getting in the zone. And then I realize, oh no, I have a psych appointment at the same time for my psychiatrist. And I'm thinking, oh no, let me go ahead and text her. And I was like, I'm so sorry, but I might have to postpone our appointment today because I'm in a really important like Zoom call meeting. And like, I really need this information. And she's like, oh, it's totally fine. We can reschedule for another time. And I'm like, thank you for being so understanding. And so I ended up canceling with her to be there for this Zoom meeting, which I thought was like so important. I just had to be there because that's what they convince you of. And, we're getting good messages during like the first half of the video. I'd say they were, teaching us all about, what's important to you and taking action to get the things that you want in life. And I'm totally about that. I completely agree. You should take action. And so halfway through the video, I start to notice that she's like, okay, now you guys, we're going to play a game. And so we're going to put a link in the comments below, and whoever clicks that link faster wins. And so I'm like, okay, a little weird, but I'm game. Let's do this. And so she's like, okay, here we go. The admins are going to put the link in the comments below, and then you guys are going to click on it as fast as you can. Okay, go real fast, and you got to really be quick at it. And then once you click that link, that person's going to win. And I'm like, okay, whatever, let's see. And I'm like, I'm not going to lie, I was a little skeptical because I was like, I'm going to see who clicks the link first because I don't know if I want to be that girl that's like not knowing what she's jumping into, honey. Like, so I'm like kind of hanging back, letting people click the button first. And then like, as she's like going into the topic, she's like, oh, and by the way, this is like, when I say to click this link, you're going to click it and you're going to pay me $1,000. And I'm like, $1,000? What? And she's like, you're not going to know what you're getting, but it's going to be a surprise and it's going to be great. And whoever clicks it first wins. And I'm like, okay, you guys go ahead and do that. I'm straight. Like, I'm good over here. I don't have $1,000 to just be throwing out on something I don't even know what I'm getting. So I'm like, no, thank you. I'll pass. So I'm watching all these crazy people in here and they're just clicking the link as fast as they can go. And I'm like, this should be interesting to say the least. So somebody clicks the link. I mean, they say there's a sucker born every minute. And somebody clicks the link and she's like, great. Oh, so-and-so, you clicked the link first, you won. And then they throw this person on a Zoom call and she looks like so scared and nervous. And I'm like, like, it's starting to get good. Like, if I had popcorn, I'd be eating it. And I'm like sitting here like, what's going to happen? And she's like, okay, so now the winner, you have a choice. And she's like, you can either like do the charge for the $1,000, but we're going to double your money and you can now get $2,000. And if you want, you could take that money right now and walk away. And I'm like, girl, take the money. Like, you don't know what she's going to do. Like, it could be like a tube of socks. Like, you don't know. Take the money. That's $2,000, girl. That's doubling your money. You take that money, girl. And so the girl's like, yeah, I'm kind of nervous, but yeah, I trust in the universe and I trust in you guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and go with whatever you're offering. And she's like, okay, so the other option you have is we're gonna offer you $10,000 worth of our products. And I'm like, really? She's like, so you get $10,000 worth of our courses from our classes. And I'm like, so your courses are worth $10,000. That's what she's telling me right now. I can go out and buy a car, but you have emotional, universal guru shit for $10,000 that you're trying to sell people out here. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm back. And I'm just like, these people are crazy. Like, at this point, I'm like, you are literally crazy if you're following these people. And so whatever, she takes the $10,000 worth of whatever their courses are. And I'm like, congratulations. Like, it's really weird at this point. And I'm like, okay, this seemed kind of culty. Like, these people are kind of crazy. So I'm like, whatever, like, to each his own. I try not to be judgmental. So you do you, boo-boo, and I'm gonna be right over here. So that ends. And then once that ends and she's like congratulating her, everything's so great, then she goes back into her discussions on, her topics and what she's talking about. And then I noticed the subject matter starts to shift. And she's like, and for those of you that didn't click the link, let me just say, this isn't the first time something like this has happened, is it? No, it's not. This isn't the first time you've let an opportunity pass you by, is it? No, it's not. Let's be honest. And I'm like, so you're telling me if I don't have $1,000 in my bank account to give to you right now, I don't care. And I'm just doing a disservice to myself, right? And she's like, what you need is you need to invest in yourself. That's what's important. And I'm like, how am I investing in myself if I'm buying something from you for $1,000? Isn't that investing in you and not, how is that? And so I'm like, I'm kind of confused here, honey. Like, it's a little weird. And so she talked about something about this yesterday too, where she touched on like, it's not a lack of money, okay? It's a lack of motivation. And I'm like, no, bitch, sometimes it's really just a lack of money. Like, people really do be poor out in these streets. I don't know if you know that, but no. Like, if I could go on a trip right now for $1,000, I think I would take that and I would do that. But, like, I can't. So, I don't have a money tree outside where I can just, like, you know, pick the money and just call it a day. Like, that's not how it works. And so the more she's like hammering down on people and starting to get really honestly just rude at this point, I start getting triggered. And I'm like, first of all, you don't need to make people feel guilty for not giving you $1,000. That's on what planet is that right? Like, so I'm just like beside myself listening to her go on and on about how I'm a bad person. I don't believe in myself if I didn't just give her $1,000. And so I go on to their Facebook account and I'm like, first of all, you know, me being me, and I'm just like telling poor people or people that are low income that they just don't care about themselves or their future if they don't give you $1,000 is messed up. And I'm sorry, but I know the difference between right and wrong. And baby, that's just wrong. So I clicked that, you know, I'm putting it up on the wall and I'm just like, going to church. And of course, people are going underneath and they're agreeing with me. There's a guy like right away, almost instantly. And he was like, you know what? Thank you. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I'm like, I mean, I don't see how becoming spiritually enlightened should cost $1,000. I mean, call me crazy. I don't see it. And so another lady goes on there and she's like, so true. And I'm like, sounds like somebody getting called out over here. I'm putting it out there. You tell me, I'm just saying. So then, you know, I go on and I'm like going on with my day. I'm like having breakfast. I'm like getting ready and stuff. And so later on, I go back to the thing and I'm like, oh, I wonder what's going on now. Like, there's probably like so many people on there talking shit and like being like, how dare you? Because you know how people are on the internet. And so I'm ready for this war, whatever I have to face. I go on there, comment has been removed. And then I click on the link to the comment and I've now been kicked completely out of the group. And I'm like, so I can't even speak my mind. So if I call you out for shady practices, I get kicked out. And then I'm like, I know this is a cult. This is a cult. Like, he is like going to take all your wives. Those are his wives. He's going to like, your children are his future wives. I'm just like, I'm kind of hating on this group now. Cause I'm like, you guys are fucked up. So I don't know. I had that bad run in. So this week, I swear you guys, like somebody was trying to take me down. And I'm like, what can I learn from all this? Cause all the times, like I'm going through hard times, difficult times, like I always sit down and try to take something away from it. Okay. And so throughout all these ordeals, all these past 2 freaking weeks, by the way, let me tell you the happier side. So Kale did end up having to pay me because I got them in trouble. I went ahead and messaged the co-founder of Kale. And when she found out about it, I'm guessing they got in trouble because they had to then mark my videos as completed and I got paid. So I'm running like I am Forrest Gump and I'm running away from Kale. So never want to do anything with them again. And so in that process, Bubble Skincare actually reached out to me and I got a private message from one of the people from their PR, and she was the sweetest person ever. Okay. She was like, I am so sorry, first of all, for everything you've had to go through. That is just terrible. And I want to go ahead and offer you and your family free skincare. And I'm like, are you serious right now? I was out doing a DoorDash when I got this message. I'm crying. And I'm just like, Oh my God, it's so nice. Because I've just been dealing with shitheads, to put it nicely, for the past 2 weeks. And I've been like pulling my hair out, just so stressed out. And like this sweet lady comes on and is like, I'm just going to give you free shit. And I'm like, thank you. Like somebody, not only do you just recognize that I'm being dumped on and this is a shady company, but you're trying to make up for their mistake, which you shouldn't have to, but you're such a sweet person. You just want to anyway. And I'm like, that is so sweet of you. And so she, me and her are just talking, and I'm letting her know about like my family and the situation I've got going on here, and that, my husband was in a terrible work-related accident, 3 years ago, and it left him permanently disabled, and I had to start working for, DoorDash and Instacart, and we're so like low income, just barely making it paycheck to paycheck, and I really needed that money, and that's why I was so upset about it. Like, I wouldn't be so upset over money if I didn't need it, girl. Like, I need it. My kind of family and life depends on it here. I need the mullah. Like, show me the money. And so, me and her were just chit-chatting, and she was like, I just want to tell you that thank you for sharing your story with me, first of all. And I just want to tell you that I think you're a wonderful mother and you're a wonderful provider for your family. And I was just like bawling at this point, like full on bawling. And I'm just like, somebody sees me. Thank you. Like, it's like people like her, like they have no idea how much you just affect people with the good things that you do and the good things you say to people. Like, she had no idea either, like how much I needed to just hear that week. Like, girl just reached out and gave me a bright light in a dark tunnel. And I just grasped onto it like a moth to a flame. I was like, please give me more kindness. I need it. And so I wanted to get on here and tell you guys, my true aha moment was, don't let people get you down. I've been really working on this shadow work journal that my psychologist recommended for me. And, a lot of my past traumas come from, people that were mean to me, people that bullied me, or people that didn't believe in me, people that treated me like I wasn't good enough. And so somehow along the lines that translates to, I feel like I'm not good enough, because of all the ways that people treated me. They put that thought in my head. I didn't put that in there. They put that in there. And because they did, I always run around life feeling like, I'm just not good enough. And it's not true. It's not true. You don't have to believe what those people are telling you. You don't have to believe, that you deserve the way that you're being treated, because you absolutely do not. You don't. You can fight for yourself. You can fight for your rights. You stand up for yourself, girl or boy, or he, she, they. I don't care. You stand up for yourself. Absolutely. And, I always go by this one saying, doing what's right isn't always easy, and doing what's easy isn't always right. And I try to live my life by that. You know what I mean? Because if being a good person was easy, everybody would be good. Everybody would be good by now. But guess what? It's so much easier to just be a bad person. And that's why there's so many bad people in the world, because people they don't want to put in the effort and really try to be that good person. It really is hard to keep your goodness in a world that has so much darkness, in a world that has so much hatred, in a world that has so much like negativity just spewing out on a daily basis. So much judgment and rude comments and people just being mean and hateful towards each other out there. And bravo to the companies that, you've stayed good people. You believed in that vision and you stuck with it. You didn't sell your soul to the devil. Unlike some people, unlike some, gurus out there who, I don't see how you're a spiritual leader and you're just taking people for all they're worth. Like, you're a bad person. I'm sorry. But if you're trying to sell people their own self-esteem for $10,000 a pop, there's a special place in hell for you. Really, there is. And there's older people too that were on those Zoom calls, like elderly people. And they were telling them things like, you really want to take this opportunity before it's too late. I mean, I'm seeing some of you, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, but you're getting kind of up there in age. And don't you want to take this opportunity now while you still can? And I'm like, you're the devil. You're the literal devil, baby. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, It's like those telemarketers that like take advantage of those 80-year-old women because they have nobody to talk to and they're just like cleaning out their account the entire time. Like, who even are you people? Like, it's so wrong. It's so messed up. Like, just keep with the message that you learned. If you learned a wonderful message from a grandmaster in the Himalayas, why don't you just stick to that message? Why do you have to sell it for $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $10,000 to somebody? Don't you think that's a little much? Don't you think that's a little wrong? Like, I mean, if some people want to pay the extra buck to go the golden mile, by all means, please do. Just do it. Like, hey, if that's what your soul is calling to you, baby, that's what your soul is calling to you, and you do it. But don't sit there and try to guilt people that don't have the money to do things like that, telling us that we don't believe in ourselves and we're not investing in ourselves. Because that, baby, that is so messed up. Don't do that to people. That is so wrong. And I don't know, I've just always one of those people that when you tell me I can't, baby, I am going to light a fire under my ass and I'm going to show you that I can. I'm going to show you, girl. So like I was saying, I don't know, just the takeaway again is just that, just believe in yourself. Just be your biggest cheerleader and let your family and your friends be your biggest cheerleader. Don't listen to the haters. They're on a different path in life and it is a path straight to nowhere. Trust and believe. They ain't going anywhere. They haven't been anywhere. And you're obviously on the right path. And the reason you know that is because you know, like, if so many people are trying to mess with you and pull you down, obviously they see something you have and they want it and they're jealous, or they're just trying to take you down because they don't want to see you get there. And just don't let them win. Do not let them win. They're not worth it. Your self-esteem and your self-worth is so worth it at the end of the day. So keep going, keep pushing through. Fuck the haters. Literally, just let them pass you by. They don't matter. They're never going to matter. What matters is you, and you have that drive, you have that focus, and you keep that. You keep that light, you keep that fire, you keep that fight. That's what's important. And I think that's why I wasn't able to upload my video until today. Like, I think God just wanted me to get this message out there. He wanted me to learn this lesson and share it with all of you. And that's what I'm doing. So I hope you guys have had a great couple of weeks. I hope you had a great 4th of July. We just kind of hung out here, watched Stranger Things, and watched the fireworks show that was here in town. You know, did a little barbecue and just had fun relaxing here at the house. It wasn't anything too crazy. So I just want to like touch bases with you guys again, let you know how things are going, and share my message with all of you. Hopefully I'll have some new videos coming out soon. Shark Week is Sunday. I'm a huge Shark Week fan. I'm a nerd. I know there's some really cool treats coming out too here and there, so I might have a couple more snack videos coming out for everybody. But yeah, until then, you guys, just keep fighting for yourself. Keep fighting for that goodness that you see in the world. When you see good people, gravitate towards those people. Because when you get a hold of a good person or good vibes, like, just hold on to that. We need so much more of that in this world. And literally it is so easy to be a bad person, and God knows I've questioned it 1,000 or 2,000 times for myself. And I was like, no, you know what? We need more good people in this world than we need bad people. We have way too many bad people. And if I'm another bad person, I'm just going to make the world that much worse. And I want to make the world better. I want to make a difference. And that's what I'm here doing. And that's what I want you to do too. So go out there, spread the kindness, spread the cheer. See you guys in the next one.